trying to say I'm tongue-tied. Tongue-tied. Whenever you are near me. I'm mummy, 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 mummy. Whenever you're around. Whenever you're around, girl.
So, let's see how season 11 treats Kat.
I've come back into the past to screw around with human evolution. How come I'm still here?
Maybe you didn't qualify.
The first thing he does in Twentica is...
That's him there. I cracked. Sorry, guys. I tried to stay strong, but he broke me.
Yeah, so much for being cool as a cat.
Hey, David Lister.
Right there, bud. Sorry, guys. He broke me again. What do you expect? I'm not made of concrete.
To be fair, Kat is kind of known for not being able to shut up. It's usually because he either doesn't care or doesn't know any better, though, not out of fear.
There are a number of options, sir. All involving you, and all extremely bad.
I'm all ears.
If it's possible for Kat to hate Rimmer more than he did before, I kind of feel like he does in seasons 11 and 12.
Again, if he dies, not the end of the world.
Rimmer is out too.
Every cloud.
A tech ban, which means you, sir, are illegal.
He is? I may move here, lay down roots and start a family.
Crashing, that's what the hell's happening. Now brace.
You think this is a good time to make a crack about my teeth?
Everything is about your appearance, isn't it, Kat? That actually reminds me of a line from Backwards.
Fasten your belts. Hey, I do not need fashion tips from you.
Safety belts.
Later, when they're trying to get into a club...
You know you got standing out here? Lucky. No middle name. Listerano.
Kat almost seems to know what he's doing here.
He ain't related to the scientist Joseph Lister, is he?
Most likely he just got lucky. Still kind of cool that he was the one that got them into the club.
He's half goofy now, walking around the park pushing a pram full of string. He's got some theory about it, but no one will listen.
Pram theory?
He also hands the device to Einstein, who turns out to not be Einstein, but still. Kat did some things that led to them fixing everything and getting away. His dancing even comes into play a little.
You think a scientist could tap dance like that?
Until Lister gives them away.
One thing I don't understand. Well, actually, there are about 40 things I don't understand.
Kat says a lot of cute things in Samsara, especially when they find the skeletons of the crew members.
How can you fly a spaceship and at the exact same time all play Twister?
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Twister is a 3-player game. Everyone here is just waded right in.
He's really committed to that theory, too.
Wait your turn, buddy. What's the rush? A one-armed bandit? How cool is this?
He suddenly knows what a one-armed bandit is, though.
That Mexican dude. The one who robbed people. The one-armed bandit.
It's a machine, you gimp.
Either Kat actually remembered that conversation or the writers forgot.
I need a coin. I'm an orphan, ain't I?
I mean, it's true, and not like the money was gonna go to the orphans it was intended for at this point anyway. And yet Lister still puts the winnings in there. Nice little microcosm of the difference between these two characters. Anyway, Kat gets a knife in the foot. I like how Lister does that old doctor's trick where he suddenly pulls it out while Kat is talking.
I had no choice. It was the only way to get it out.
And then the lights go out.
I think I got blind. It must be something to do with my foot.
Oh, poor kitty.
I got foot and eye disease.
So we're 11 seasons in and they managed to reveal something about Kat that we didn't know up until this point. Unlike his American female counterpart...
It's okay for you, you have night vision.
But you can see in the dark, right? With your super see cat's eyes, right?
And you can swing from trees, right? With your super swinging monkey arms, right?
He actually cannot see in the dark.
Who'd evolved so that they can't see in the dark?
Who evolved so you can't swing from trees? You'd never be late for anything.
I love this conversation. I mean, yeah, we tend to assume that this cat can do anything our cats can do, but it makes sense that his race would lose an ability it didn't need anymore. On a ship full of canned food, they no longer needed to hunt, therefore no need to see in the dark. I almost feel like this scene is a bit meta, like it's making fun of those expectations we have as an audience. But I may be reading too much into it. Either way, I love it. They find some glow sticks to light up the room a little, and I love that Kat ends up with the pink ones. That's gotta be intentional.
We got food, water, everything we need. Been here for days, weeks, months even.
Grayson!
Oh, you don't know the half of it yet, Lister.
I better come up with a plan. I get great ideas all the time. I just don't say them out loud.
You say everything you think out loud.
Lister knows him so well.
I'm like that inventor guy. It begins with R.
Rosenthal, Sidney Rosenthal, invented the magic marker.
The guy I'm talking about is real. He ain't no wizard out of a book with his magic pen. I got it.
So most of Kat's dialogue is him talking Lister's ear off about stuff he's getting wrong.
One day, Archimedes is sitting under a tree. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this bath hits him on the head. Pow! And he gets up, shouts Formica, and invents gravy.
It was Newton who was sat under the tree. And he discovered gravity when he got hit on the head by an apple.
Meanwhile, Lister seems to know a lot about history all of a sudden. I don't think that really hit me when I did the main video for this episode. Season 10 did show him studying. I guess what he learned stuck.
Archimedes discovered something to do with water displacement when he was sat in the bath and he shouted, Eureka!
So, Mr. Alan Einstein.
Speaking of, I love how Lister visibly cringes at that.
They gave him a special hat to wear at night to cover up the bruising.
They gave him a knighthood.
What's that saying? You can lead a hearse to water, but you can't make it sink. Right, sir?
You know who Kat kind of reminds me of in this episode? Donkey from Shrek.
Man, she was the greatest soldier in history. Led her people to victory.
Julie Caesar.
It's funny because they're both named after the animal they are.
I didn't teach you anything. You know why?
Me. I got this one. Is it because you're a snack dispenser?
I'm a snack dispenser. Ow!
Give and Take has Kat wondering why skeletons never wear clothes.
When do they all die? Probably pneumonia.
That's adorable. So anyway, Lister and Kat were operated on against their will, which is pretty disturbing. Only it only got as far as Lister's kidneys being removed. For some reason, Crichton thinks the cat will be willing to donate one.
Crichton, read the cat dictionary. There's only one meaning for donor. A kind of kebab. He's a cat. He can't help himself.
I love that Lister immediately shoots down that notion while still kind of defending Kat at the same time. A minor point in this scene, but he really accepts Kat for what he is, and that's kind of sweet.
How you doing, bud? They said you wanted to see me.
So yeah, Lister is about to ask Kat for a kidney, and before he can even get it out, Kat immediately steals his food and even vitamin shot. So we know where this is gonna go.
It's not your kidneys that need replacing, it's your damn brain.
Yeah.
And when push comes to shove, you'll do what's right.
All these years we've been together, you think someone knows you. You don't know me at all.
Though, I'm tempted to think that the reason Kat is upset is because maybe deep down he knows he's in the wrong. Okay, maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Ah, there you are, sir.
So they end up tricking him by having Crichton tell him that it's actually Kat who needs the kidney from Lister, who hasn't been told yet.
Hey there, buddy. I come to touch.
So Kat suddenly wants to be really nice to Lister. That's kind of creepy.
I thought about what you said about the kidney thing, and I thought, what would you do if this whole situation was reversed?
You know what I'd do? I'd give you a kidney in 10 seconds flat.
That's why I'm gonna give you one of my kidneys.
Yeah, okay.
Just slice me open and haul it out. And while you're in there, if you take a shine to anything else, just grab that too.
Anyway, he has to sign a consent form first, which he does. And here comes Crichton to share the news that he thought it was Kat who actually needed the kidney, but it turns out he was right the first time. While this is an awful thing to do to Kat, considering Lister was about to die, it's forgivable. And they end up not using Kat's kidney anyway, so it's kind of a moot point.
What's that?
Pre-op injection, sir. It'll help you relax.
Oh, I very much doubt that.
Also, we get a pretty good fall over. They're never gonna top the one in Epideme, though.
Any advice? Yeah. Don't wear a hat.
In Officer Rimmer,
These dudes are gonna be human, right?
he seems awfully happy about that, probably because he knows some of them will be women.
Zero G Sports is an officer-only channel.
I know I mentioned this before, but I still love Kat and Lister watching old women playing croquet. I mean, the commercial does make it look entertaining, at least in an ironic way.
So we can print out any of these people?
Yeah.
What about her?
I knew it. Kat just wanted to print out the women.
She can't demote anybody.
So what if she can't? I can see past that.
In Crisis,
Crichton isn't feeling too good.
Oh, what's up, brother man?
hey, Kat actually sounds concerned there. Later he asks what a midlife crisis is.
Have you ever felt, I've wasted my life?
You? Sure.
Have you ever felt you've wasted your life?
No.
Have you ever felt there's so much more I could have been?
No.
Yeah, I don't think this is something Cat has to worry about. He does like Crichton's new subwoofers, and we get some dancing out of it.
I'll get rid of Crichton.
Later, he gives Rimmer that look of, boy, are you a scumbag.
I'm about to perform some personality surgery on Mr. Rimmer.
He's getting a new personality? Great idea.
On to Can of Worms. One of the first scenes with Cat involves him finding out that they're nearing the territory of yet another tribe of Gelfs. These ones supposedly drink the blood of virgins, so Cat gets nervous.
Can we discuss this for one stupid, lousy second?
Hang on a minute, are you?
No.
I remember one comment I got when I covered this episode originally about how Lister should have already known this about Cat. Think of it this way, I doubt Lister spends a lot of his day-to-day life thinking about Cat's sex life or lack thereof. So it's not that he doesn't know, he just doesn't think about it and it slipped his mind here. Like, it's really not that weird to not be constantly thinking about your friend's sex life. And he does try to say things to the effect of, I suppose you would be, and I never really thought about it.
I suppose you must...
No. Never really. Don't even say it. I've had my share, let me tell you. More than my share. Plus, I've had full-blown love affairs, too.
Yeah, Cat's not supposed to be self-conscious. He should be thinking he's cooler than them no matter what. It's one thing to be afraid of the Gelfs, but now he's worried about looking uncool in front of who? Lister and Rimmer? No, I don't buy that.
I got a lady cat back on Red Dwarf. Hell, I got two.
On Z-Deck.
Apparently he's mentioned having 2 girlfriends on Z-Deck before. This is going to come up again later, and I'm going to have something to say about it. Notice the Cat is wearing plastic bags over his feet so his shoes wouldn't get wet while walking through those puddles in the corridor. That's kind of a neat detail.
But am I pleased to see you?
So here's our female cat, but she's actually a polymorph, so we don't really learn anything new about the cat race like we would have with Aura if Identity Within had been made. By the way, notice that Cat finds her in a cage as a reference to that. Again, Identity Within is never going to be an episode. They've used about everything from it by now, and it'd just be repetitive.
You got a name?
Sure I do, stupid. Who doesn't have a name?
But yeah, going by how we've seen polymorphs work previously, it probably just went with how Cat would expect a female cat to act. I mean, props to this actress, she's really cute and she did a great job, but there's nothing to be gleaned about Cat from this character, and they basically have her doing the season 1 version of Cat. Again, it's cute, but that's about it. Granted, it's really cute. I'm not a fan of Cat singing badly. Since when was that a thing? This episode really has it out for him, doesn't it? At least he can still dance.
All I'm saying is that she had some moves you've never even seen.
And I know I said this when I first covered this episode, but I'm fine with Cat being stupid. It's part of his charm.
Next thing you know, her big pipe thing shoots out of her back.
But he shouldn't be this stupid.
Whoosh it straight down your throat. Whoa!
Like, this is too stupid to breathe levels of stupid.
She just released her gushy tadpole stuff down her pipe.
I'm sure he's watched porn before and would know how sex would work. Come on.
How do I break this to you?
You're a moron! Let me handle this. Catman, you're a moron!
And like I mentioned, if you go with the idea of what happened to him being an allegory for rape, it gets really sad.
It still counts! It counts! Why doesn't it count?
But hey, we get to see Cat's quarters for the first time ever. They look about how I would expect. Velvet duvet, curtains everywhere, mood lighting. I guess there's one thing in this episode I approve of. Oh, and one detail that I love, the cat belt still exists. He doesn't wear it in these 2 seasons, but it's sitting right there on his nightstand. I hope we get to see him wear it again sometime. I love that thing.
Let me tell you, she looked a hell of a lot better last night.
I didn't think to mention this when I covered this episode originally, but I love how Crichton lifts one of the polymorph's tentacles and checks its pulse as if it were a person.
Sir, we need to get you to the science room and give you a full medical.
As a Cat fan, seeing him this scared pisses me off, and I want to beat the shit out of whoever is doing that to him, the creators of this show included. So yeah, Cat is pregnant with polymorphs, which are apparently going to burst out of him like an alien, only it's being played for laughs.
Something's inside me and it wants to get out.
Okay, that doesn't count, it was only inside his shirt.
What the hell are we gonna do?
First, I think it's essential that you eat something, sir.
I just want these things out of me.
Have you thought about a cesarean?
Okay, but no croutons.
I do love him confusing a cesarean with Caesar salad. then he just immediately gives birth in the most painful way possible. Again, played for laughs. I just think that's kind of mean-spirited. Plus, remember how bad stuff isn't supposed to happen to Cat because it hurts his cool factor? That's just right out the window with this episode. But I think the worst thing about this episode is that they could have had Lister get pregnant instead, and they wouldn't have had to change the story very much. This isn't about Cat getting pregnant somehow and his dealing with it the way Cat would. Like, they could have had Cat worry about getting stretch marks, how hard it's going to be to find a good-looking outfit that'll fit him, just anything that is specific to Cat, and nothing like that happens. He gets over it pretty quick, though.
What's happening? There are 6 polymorphs here, and we don't know who's who.
I'm sure you'll work it out. Catch you later.
But then this happens.
A mama always knows her kids.
That's a weird mood swing. I almost wonder if something was cut. Like that previous scene was one of the polymorphs or something. The episode ends with Lister coming to Cat's room and trying to tell him that it's okay to be a virgin, which is kind of cute.
It wouldn't mean that you were a loser. It wouldn't mean that you weren't cool. It just mean that you hadn't met the right girl yet.
I always like it when Lister treats Cat like a little brother.
But I'm not.
Exactly.
So no need to have this talk.
Exactly.
So go away.
I just noticed the metallic pillows with jungle print. I want those. And oh my god, the zebra print coat from season 7. I wonder what other recognizable suits are hanging back there that aren't so easy to spot. I think the other one is from Trojan. And the 2 Catwomen are revealed about 2 seconds before the reveal that this is a dream sequence.
This is a dream, isn't it? Let's go. Pipe me!
And that is such a missed opportunity. I love the idea that he was somehow able to hide them for the rest of the crew all this time. I know there's probably reasons why that wouldn't make sense, but hell, Red Dwarf barely follows its own continuity anyway. This wouldn't be that big of a stretch, considering post-season 8 Rimmer. I'm serious, the rest of the episode might have been worth it if it had ended right after they were revealed. I knew going in that this wasn't going to live up to Identity Within, and I tried not to compare it. But it's not even a Cat episode, so what's to compare, really? The only thing we get is a look into his room for the first time and all the neat little Easter eggs that were in it. And that was it. This episode ended up being a 3rd Polymorph episode that doubled as a shallow Mpreg being played for laughs story, and really the whole thing is just one big Cat is dumb gag. And like I said, if they made it about Cat, it might have worked. At least somewhat. I think there are ways they could have been clever about it. I mean, if they had to do Mpreg. Believe it or not, I actually have seen Alien Mpreg done well before.
The Hafakata, or what you would call the fetus, is still low. I'm perfectly capable of performing my duties.
Hey, I don't want this avocado popping up around me.
I don't know how many people remember that there was even a movie called Alien Nation, let alone the TV series based on it. But it involved aliens living on Earth, and there was fantastic racism involved. Also, it was a buddy cop show. And if that sounds familiar, yes, Bright did shamelessly rip off Alien Nation, but it's nowhere near as good, so please don't judge Alien Nation based on how Bright turned out. Anyway, there was an episode called Real Men where the main alien character, George, is pregnant, which is normal for his race, but living with humans makes him feel unmanly about it, and the whole thing is a look at what is or isn't considered masculine. It's even contrasted with a case about steroid use in a gym. I never said it was subtle.
I'm not fat, I'm pregnant. Oh.
I mean, there are a few cheap laughs where George gets all emotional like a pregnant woman. But for the most part, it's a pretty solid episode. Not only does it have something to say, but it keeps George's character and situation in mind, and he's not just joke fodder. In the end, he has a badass moment because he's protecting his baby, by human standards, something a mother would do. I love Alien Nation. I wish I had time now to do a series of videos on Alien Nation, cause I'd do it. I'll talk about Alien Nation all frickin' day if you let me. Anyway, yeah, a show from 1990 that nobody cared about and was canceled after the first season handled this concept better than Red Frickin' Dwarf. That's kinda sad. So, tangent aside, that's Cat from season 11. Up until Can of Worms, he was handled pretty well, mostly played for laughs, but we did get to learn something new about him that he actually cannot see in the dark, thank you very much, which was kind of a surprise this late in the series. Wardrobe-wise, we still get the super nice suits, but it's alternated with outfits that remind me more of season 6 and 7, and a much welcome return of leopard print. Either way, thank God that terrible hairstyle from season 10 is gone, and it's back to something a little more in character for him. Just simple poofiness with a ponytail, though it varies a bit from one episode to another. One downside is that it's not totally convincing in my opinion, and you can tell it's a wig, but I'll still take it over season 10. In Twentica, we get black pants that could be vinyl, hard to tell, they're definitely shiny though, along with a black shirt and sparkly black tie under a leopard print blazer. Hairstyle-wise, his hair is braided with a ribbon tied in a bow at the base, which is really cute. Again, I like when he has a bow at the base of his ponytail. It looks a bit colonial to me. Later, he's dressed similarly as everyone else, dark pinstriped suit with a fedora, but the shirt is black and his tie is hot pink with a little blingy pin on it. So for once, he's actually in character while being in disguise. Remember how season 7 had him dressed up as a homeless man and a gelf? I still can't get over that last one. And then season 8 we had Dwayne Dibley, which wasn't much better. Anyway, Samsara has him wearing a season 10-like outfit again. This satin suit has a print that I cannot make out for the life of me, but it's black, white, green, and orange with black trim and a white shirt and bow tie. I can't really explain why it looks balanced to me. It looks like it should be too much, like that rainbow one from season 10, but it works somehow. Maybe it's all the black and white tying it all together and that there are only 2 other colors. Unfortunately, his shoes are blue, which is totally out of place. They're almost always black. I wonder why they went with blue for this outfit that doesn't even have any blue in it. Come to think of it, looking at this outfit from a distance, it is a little busy. Black pants would have been better. In Give and Take, not a fan of the hair. It's kind of messy on the top and has a floofy ponytail. The latter is fine, but I don't like the messy part on top. Lister says he looks like he has a bog brush on his head, which is the kind of thing he'd normally say about Rimmer. Outfit-wise, he's wearing a glittery mint green suit with black lapels, buttons, and other trim, with a shirt and tie that match each other. Pretty sure they're black with white dots. There's also a glittery pin. I like this one. You'd think all the metallic would be too much, but at least it's a solid color this time and the shoes are black. Later on, we see him in maroon pajamas with some sort of print and a maroon robe with cream-colored trim. In Officer Rimmer, it's black pants and a black glittery blazer over a red shirt with some kind of print that looks a bit like peacock feathers and a black bow tie. Also, the glitter on the jacket seems to be forming some kind of pattern. Checks, maybe? And it's being held closed with a red jeweled button. And there's a silver glittery cat pin on the lapel, which looks like the kind of thing I'd wear. Also, the hair is back to normal on the top, though it still has a really poofy ponytail with no bow. Crisis is back to a super nice suit, and I love how clean and simple and elegant this one is. It's almost entirely pink, but it's got a black speckly pattern on it which tones down the color, along with some black trim with a black shirt and bow tie. I love how long the jacket is, and how this one includes a matching vest. It's just a really nice, classy outfit. Also, the braid and bow are back. Can of Worms starts off with him wearing an outfit that's almost right out of season 10. Teal and gold jacket with a matching teal shirt and tie with even a matching handkerchief. I feel like I should be thinking it's too busy, but I guess it works because there are only 2 colors and the pattern is small, so it blends together a little from a distance, so it's not as overwhelming as some others. I love the outfit he wears later. Black vinyl pants, black satin shirt, black sparkly tie, and this gorgeous rose gold blazer with a paisley pattern. Reminds me a little of the last one he wore in season 10. Lots of bling with black to balance it out, even when the black also has bling. Later, his maternity outfit. A pink velour jumpsuit with a stripe of rhinestones on either side of the pants and one on either side of the zipper. Under that is a matching shirt also with rhinestones. I mean, if you have to have Cat in maternity wear, I have to admit that this is what he would pick. And finally, we get to see him in pajamas again. A red satin, almost Asian-style shirt with blingy frogs holding it closed, under a leopard print robe with black trim. I love how well it suits him. I still wouldn't call this a Cat episode, but the fact that he wears 4 outfits is one of those things that helps with the illusion. I think that might actually be a record for him. And that's just about everything I have to say about how Cat was portrayed in season 11. I was expecting this to be shorter so I could pair it with season 12. Considering Can of Worms, I don't know why I thought that. Next up is season 12, which will pretty much be the finale of this series, at least for now. See you then.
When I saw you for the first time, my knees began to quiver, and I got
It's just one T, right? I knew that.